So, hi, Anubhav. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, Jitesh, doing fine.
All right. So, I have received your CV and it looks fine. So, Anubhav, can you please tell about yourself and your current job responsibilities?
Sure. My name is Anubhav Acharya, and I'm from Bhubaneswar, Orissa.
Mm-hmm.
I've completed my graduation in communication engineering from Sivaraman College of Engineering,
Right.
and currently I'm working as a team lead in Central Audit Team of Think and Learn Private Limited.
Okay.
My current roles include working as a workforce management and business intelligence. So my daily tasks include making reports and providing feedbacks regarding the sales of the entire company. The daily task includes lead allocation, data warehousing, then preparing dashboards and reports, and providing BI reports to the concerned stakeholders at a regular intervals.
Perfect.
I have 5+ years experience as a data analyst with hands-on experience on tools like SQL, Power BI, and advanced Excel. Other than my technical skills, I believe I possess strong leadership qualities, having successfully managed a team of 15 people. With
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah. uh, Other than that, I have certain achievements, co-curricular achievements. I have completed a master's degree in playing tabla
Mm-hmm.
and successfully got around 15 prizes in certain
Wow,
competitions.
that's great. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
and concern about my parents, so my mother used to be a teacher. She
Mhm.
retired before 2 years,
Okay.
and my father was a government medical officer
Okay,
who was
perfect.
retired before 3 years.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, you said that you were working in tools like Power BI, SQL, and you were involved in making dashboards, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. So, coming to that point again. So, Anubhav, can you please share some challenges you encountered in the recent project involving Power BI dashboard, and what was your involvement, and how did you resolve that?
Sure. So, the recent project which I was working on is the because I was working in I'm working in central audit team. So, majority of the projects are regarding the audits mainly for calls or orders which are punched. So
Mm-hmm.
recently, we the latest project which I was working on was regarding the audit of the orders which were punched. So,
Okay.
in that we had to cross check with the team was doing that they were cross checking with the customers, cross checking the documents which are provided by the customers, their live photos, the amount which was paid, and verifying whether the source of payment was genuine by the customer or
Okay.
from certain employees or not, because there
Okay.
are certain parameters which we keep a check on.
Okay.
So, to check these things, there are multiple platforms through which they go.
Mm-hmm.
And the main challenge for me in this project was to accumulate all the different data from all the different platforms into one to make a particular report.
Okay.
So, main task for me in this project was to prepare the finalized data set.
Okay.
After which means my team together we made the reports.
Okay.
So to challenges were mainly for cleaning the data and putting
Clean.
it in, because because the data is from different platforms. Like
Mm-hmm.
one checking the government websites for authenticating the documents provided. Then payment portals are a different. So the unique key which they refer is different in all the platforms.
Got it.
So I had to collaborate like with the order IDs which are there.
Mm-hmm.
Along with that, with the different platforms, I had to take data from like 5 different platforms, then together compile a single data, after which we start preparing the reports.
Got it. Okay. So how I mean how would you manage the time? As you said that collecting the data and cleaning it and then presenting it in the dashboard. So how much time would you spend for this activity?
It mainly depends on the data, but being a regular at this, so I am well versed with the concerned platforms. So I could easily get means from where I could collect the data, and it was just matter of few Excel formulas with which I could get it all together.
Perfect.
But cross-checking that will take a little bit time because that is a bit of manual work because
Okay.
there are repetitive entries.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes a little bit of time. So maybe half a day I contribute to preparing the data. Then our entire team can prepare the reports in maybe next 1 or 2 hours.
Okay, perfect. Super. So, coming back to again the technical part. So, Anubhav, just let me know how proficient are you while when it comes to SQL. So, how would you
Uh,
rate yourself on a scale of 10?
so I would rate myself 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. All right. So, let's see. I have a couple of questions to be asked. Okay, so let's start. Anubhav, tell me the different types of indexes and how they perform query performance.
Okay. So basically, there are two kind of indexes. One is clustered, one is non-clustered index.
Okay.
So clustered index, I'll start with clustered index. So
Mm-hmm.
that is it's a kind of index which we can put only a single clustered index in a table, and it affects the table. So it will arrange the table. If we are putting a clustered index, it will arrange the table in a particular order. And for non-clustered index, it is not stored in the table. Rather, it will create a different. It would won't occupy any space in the in the database, but
Mm-hmm.
it will be storing the order in a separate place, so that if required, it will arrange the data when we uh, put a select query.
Okay, I got you. Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
So regarding the query runtime, the clustered index will be faster always because it is already present in the table, so it will run faster.
Okay, got it. So, just tell me the difference between normalization and denormalization, and when would you use it?
Okay. So normalization is basically a method in which we use to remove any redundancy in the data. So
Mhm.
there are three steps of normalization: 1NF, 2NF, and 3NF. So this is basically when we get a data, there might be multiple datas in a particular row or repeated entries in different rows. So when we do normalization, it is basically to get unique entries and in each and every row and columns, so that
And
it will be easy for processing the data.
okay, and what
And
about denormalization?
I'm not pretty confident about denormalization, but as much as I remember, it is used when we have to get repeated entries in the data.
Right. Okay, is it destroys the data or is it something like that? Can you please
No, means
report it?
for example, if we I'm making a different purchases, so on different dates, if I'm making, so I'm the person who is making the entry or making the purchase. So every time it will be my name. So
Mm-hmm.
if we under normalization, if all the different columns have same entry, it will keep it under a single row. But in denormalization, we can keep in separate entries.
So as you said that there's a difference. There is a difference between a stored procedure and a trigger. So can you please explain providing a use case for that?
Stored procedures are basically SQL codes,
Mm-hmm.
which means we can previously write and save as a procedure, which can
Okay.
be called repeatedly.
Okay.
Uh,
Sure on that?
it sorry.
Are you sure on that?
Yeah. So
Okay.
they can be called repeatedly, and it helps in faster processing of queries
Mm-hmm.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
writing the queries again and again.
Okay.
Regarding triggers, sorry, I'm not able to recall about
No,
it.
all right, not an issue. Okay. So, let's say I'm comparing CTE, that is common table expression, and temporary tables. Okay. So, as a person, okay, when would you use one over the other? Should I
Okay.
repeat?
No, I got a question. So, for common table expressions, in case we have there's a complex query in which which we are taking in multiple outputs and then combining. So, in such case, I'll be taking CTE because I can take means multiple CTEs. I'll get the outputs and then I can combine it in a single query. But in temporary tables, if we are putting multiple things, multiple outputs, we it will be a very complex thing. So if us, like for example, I'm finding the rank, I can easily put means for top two entries if I want from a table.
Okay.
Then while finding the top entries, I'll just put it in a temporary table, and then from there I can just uh, for putting ranks or orders, I'll put in a temporary table and then fetch the top two results. So in that case, I can use a temporary table. But if I need to get multiple datas from
Mhm.
a single table, then in such case, I'll use a CT, where I'll put different queries in different CTs and then get the required output.
Well. So you said about rank. Okay. Now I would like to relate the next question with rank. Explain how window functions like row number, rank, and dense rank work. You can provide me with a great example of their usage.
Yeah, yeah. So the window functions like rank, dense rank, and row number. This
Mm-hmm.
will give us a output based on for example, if we are find, there's a particular employees table with salaries.
Okay.
I'll take the this particular table to explain all the three.
Okay.
So if we uh, if we want to arrange the table or
Mm-hmm.
in terms of who is getting the highest salary or lowest salary, so what we can do is like in window function, if we are putting rank for the salary table, then
Mm-hmm.
it will provide a rank based on the highest to lowest salary,
Okay.
based on whatever we are providing the order. Like
Okay.
if we are taking an ascending order, it will provide from lowest to highest. And if we are
Mm-hmm.
taking descending order in the window function, then it will give from highest to lowest. And with this, we can also bifurcate between, if we want to bifurcate in departments, like partitions we can want to make, then that also we can make. And based on the partition, it will give us ranks. And the difference between rank and dense rank will be only that if the same salary is there for two employees, the rank will give the same rank to those two, but the next it will just skip a rank and give the next. For example, if two entries are there for 1000 rupees salary,
Mm-hmm.
so it will give one, and then it will give three. But in
Three.
dense rank, it won't skip the rank.
Okay.
And as far as row number, it will just give a serial, uh, just like a serial number entry to the different entries or
That
rows.
has nothing to do with any rank or right.
No.
Okay, fine, got it. So, let's come back to the next topic. Okay. So, how proficient are you when it comes to Power BI? How would you rate yourself on a scale of 10?
I'll rate 7.5 or 8.
8. Okay, all right. So, basic question, Anubhav.
Yeah.
What is the difference between Power Pivot and Power Query?
So I'm not able to recall that.
Okay. Are you aware of static and dynamic RLS, row level security? Okay. So what is bookmark and what it is used for? Can you just explain the importance of bookmark?
Sorry, I'm not able to recall
Okay.
this.
Okay, fine. So are you aware of what is clustered column chart?
A clustered column chart is when we are taking we have to compare same uh, with a particular entry. We have to compare different things. We take a, clustered column chart. So in that, if we want a monthly report for two different things, we can take a clustered column chart in so that for every month we can get both the entries together and we can compare.
Okay, Anubhav, can you explain the concept of star schemas and snowflake schemas in Power BI? Preferably, which one would you prefer, and can you justify to the answer?
Sorry,
Okay, no
I'm,
worries, no worries.
Uh,
Okay,
really sorry because mostly means in my current role I'm using only to make the reports in Power BI. So
okay,
this
okay, got it.
schema and I'm
Okay,
not.
so
Uh,
explain me the difference between calculate all and filter functions in DAX.
Filter function is basically used when means we want a particular set of data.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, if we there's a data for the whole year, but we want to showcase only for a particular month or a particular quarter, then we can use the filter function to just filter that particular data set, and then we can work in it so that we don't have to. If you're taking the entire data while going for visualization, it will show for the entire year or something. But if we
Okay,
are using filter, then the required data will only show in the model, so we can work on it.
okay. So my last question from Power BI is how would you optimize a Power BI report with a large data set?
Oh,
Any thoughts to that? Okay, fine, not an issue. Okay. So, Anubhav, just let me know how proficient are you in Python? How would you rate yourself on a scale of 10?
Python, I have a very basic understanding because I don't have much experience in Python. I've
Okay,
just means I completed a course, but I don't have hands-on experience in Python. So I
okay,
have basic understanding.
okay, fine. Uh, and what about Excel?
Excel, I'm proficient in because
Okay,
that's the first tool which we use for in a daily on a daily basis.
okay, perfect. So, Anubhav, my first question from Excel is how can you create calculated fields and calculated items in pivot table?
Calculated fields and calculated items.
Yes.
Okay. So when we are creating a pivot table, there's an option like if we want to, for example, if we want to show percentages of certain criteria for which we have created a pivot table, we can introduce another column. There's an option for that. That will be a calculated field. I'm sorry, I don't remember about calculated item in the pivot table.
Okay, okay, okay. So there is a difference between Power Query and Power Pivot. When would you use each of them when it comes to Excel?
Power query is mostly used when we have to perform a repetitive task
Mm-hmm.
in Excel. So we can use a Power Query to minimize the manual input.
Okay, okay, fine. Can you explain? Can you just explain how an array formula work and provide with an example of index match using index match?
Yeah. So if we want to put a formula for the entire column, like we want whatever entries are coming, even if new entries are coming, the formula should be auto applied. Then we use a array formula. So in
Mm-hmm.
that we just have to put the formula in the first row, and it'll occupy the entire column. So for if you're putting an index match, then Okay. So if there's a particular field which we want to find, then in the current table, there's for example, regarding employees data only, I'm considering a table. So I have the employees ID in one table in which I'm putting the error form. In a separate table, I have certain data which I require. So I'll be putting an index match formula using the I'll search the match with the employee ID and give
Okay.
the that will be I'll searching in the second table for the required data.
How sure are you about this?
I'm sure of.
Okay, all right. So how can you use data validation to create dynamic drop-down list in Excel?
Uh,
Have you ever tried?
yeah. So in in data, if you do a right click and then data validation, we can put certain entries.
Mm-hmm.
Either we can do that in two ways. We can put manually what the entries can be there in the list, or we can select it from a certain column. So it will show all the unique entries of that column in the data validation.
Okay, well, with that, let me ask a couple of questions more. Okay,
Yeah.
so just Anubhav, I want to test you out. Okay, so let's say you are allocated and designated as a data analyst. Let's see. Okay, but you are being there is a requirement in testing team. Okay, software testing team that you have to help them out and assist them throughout a project. Okay, so how comfortable are you with that?
So if it's a business requirement, then I'm pretty sure I'll be able to help them, provided the company is providing me with the required knowledge. I'll
Okay.
be sure to help them with the
Okay.
project.
So, tell me, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, I want to see myself in a with a good growth in the current role which I'm pursuing as a
Mm-hmm.
senior data analyst or
Mm-hmm.
even further. And I want to be able to contribute and learn more in this field.
Okay. All right. So, any short-term goals?
Short-term goals, if I want to mention, then it will be first, if I'm joining this company, then first my first short-term goal is to understand where the company wants regarding the concerned project, what is the goal of the company, and understand my shortcomings and work on that so that I can achieve the uh, required goals for the current process, and then I'll proceed further.
Okay. All right. So, explain me your strength and just a few lines, a strength and weakness.
Okay. As per my understanding, my leadership skills, my honesty and patience are the key strengths which I possess. And for my weakness, as per my understanding, I think self-criticism and procrastination are few of my weaknesses.
Sorry, self
Self-criticism and procrastination. So,
procrastination. Okay. So, don't you think
so
that procrastination would be a,
yeah, it is a hindrance, but I am already working on it. So what I usually do is whatever tasks assigned to me, I'll always remember to put it in my calendar along with the timelines and priority, so that I have a check. Look, okay, I have this much time, or this is the of high priority, and it helps me to remember and complete the task with the provided timelines.
okay. So, how comfortable are you to relocate to abroad if given a chance?
If given a chance, I am ready to. Yeah.
Okay, so there is no such, commitments and
No.
responsibility that your parents are willing to have you
Yeah,
right now in
that's
your.
already taken care.
Okay, all right, done. So with that, I'm done with my side. So just wait for my next call. We will be having a feedback session. All right. Okay, done. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So I have a few feedbacks for you, Anubhav. Okay.
Yeah.
So coming to the first part, Anubhav, how did you feel? I mean, what was your experience, interview experience?
So I felt pretty good. Like I could understand where I need to work on,
Mm-hmm.
and like where I was lagging during the interview, I could understand because of the questions, and where I need to prepare.
All right. So I have few points to subjectify. Okay. So coming to the first part, introduction was your good. Okay, you have spoken nicely, and your latest education as well you included. And coming to the current and latest organization, you also included that. And finally, about your parents, that was also included in your introduction. That was pretty good. And you also said about your skills. Okay, what all skills do you pursue, and what do you want to be, right? And overall, your introduction feedback was pretty nice. And you also said your key achievement, where you were doing a master degree in tabla, right? Am I right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
All right. So anything apart from this key achievement, this is a non-technical side key achievement. Anything related to technical side?
Nothing as of now.
Nothing as of now. Okay. So, okay, all right, not an issue. When it comes to technical part, Anubhav, you have to be very much serious because again, SQL was your good. Okay, I would rate a good marks for SQL. But when it came to Power BI part, you were confused enough. Okay.
Yes,
So
I
you have to
understood.
work on Power BI part. Okay. I don't know if you are good at technical side. I mean, when it comes to practical part. Okay. So I have to, if you are getting selected for the next round, so we'll be having a practical session as well, practical interview. Okay. So technical, I would again say Excel and SQL was good, but what I felt was is Power BI and Python. Okay, you need to work on these two tools. Okay,
Sure.
so your presentation skills was pretty good. I was impressed with your presentation skills. Okay, your body posture was a bit low, but you can extend it. You can sit straight. Okay, so you had a very good eye contact again. And the best part was, Anubhav, you were not struggling to phrase a sentence. That was pretty good, which made me impressive because while speaking, you were already prepared that yes, I want to speak this, I want to speak that, right? Not
Yes.
you were not going away from the topic which I was asking. Okay, so but I felt that you were using fillers like right? So
In between.
yes, in between you were using fillers, and your pronunciation was also pretty much good, not that bad. Again, when it comes to tone and above, you have to be a bit more loud. Okay. So you were speaking on a good note, not that bad, not that good, not that high, not that low. But I preferably prefer that you should go on a one scale up. Okay,
Sure.
tone should go a one scale up. Okay, and you were also speaking very slowly while you were speaking. Okay, that made me impressive. All right. So coming to the next part, I have your resume with me. Your profile structure. You have added GitHub. You have added LinkedIn link. Okay, and your overall structure looks impressive with the ATS clearance of 73. Okay, so you have an ATS clearance of 73. And yes, that's all from my end, the feedback session. And please do work on your tools like Python and Power BI. It will help you a
Sure.
lot. Okay. So that was all about today's session and the interview part. Thank you, Anubhav, for joining and giving time. Thank you. Have a good day.
Good. Have a good day.